you should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
But the Democrats routinely lie about Trump, and I have no particular brief for Trump at all, a lot of criticisms of him, but they lie about Trump in a very extreme fashion. For example, Kamala Harris said that Trump had said if he loses the election, there will be a bloodbath. And most people would think that meant Trump said there'll be killings and bloodlettings and so on. What Trump said was there'd be a bloodbath in the auto industry. So she is intentionally, dishonestly saying Trump threatened killings when he didn't. She also said he praised neo-Nazis in Charlottesville as very fine people. He didn't. He condemned the neo-Nazis, but said on both sides of the demonstration about historic statues in the South, there were very fine people. Now, you tend to let this go. You know, you don't have any great personal sympathy for Trump, and you tend to let it go. But they lie about Trump in such an extreme fashion, they're such barefaced lies, that there are two conclusions out of it. One, they are no better and probably worse than Trump himself in producing polarization and fever pitch in American society. And two, this has got to contribute to an atmosphere, a fervid, intense atmosphere in which some deranged people come to the conclusion that America would just be better off without Trump. So I think the anti-Trump rhetoric of the Democrats, you can't say that there's a direct, obvious causal link, but it's extremely irresponsible and very reprehensible in my view.
Jasmine Crockett saying MAGA is a domestic threat just a few hours before another attempt on Donald Trump's life.
I talk about the fact that when we swore in finally in January, that we swore to defend against those that are coming against us, whether they are domestic or international. And right now, I feel like MAGA in general, they are threats to us domestically. And we see it time and time again.
This is not the America I grew up in. There's so much hate and division between all of us. And all of this rhetoric that they're going back and forth, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, all Project MK Ultra, all that shit and stuff like that. It's going to inspire people to do other things.
To a 20-year-old guy that sold everything he owns to come here and fight.
He just sounds like he ready to give it all up. Like he know they after him or something. I mean, I don't know.
That is heroism. You know, he's coming here to risk his life for humanity, for the Ukrainians.
Well, first of all, it does suggest that he was paying a lot of attention to world events, and this was certainly driving him, motivating him. Mm-hmm. It's hard to know what to make of who he was talking to, who he was working with in Ukraine, but I did intentionally use the word appear to be alone. We don't know the answer to this.
Notice how they were quick to say that he was acting alone. I do not think so. I do not think so. I think there was some kind of non-government organization funding this man.
The difference between being inspired by and connected to an external threat actor is pretty slim sometimes, Martha. Mm-hmm. We need to make sure we chase every one of those leads to the ground from both the first incident and now this one. And then, Martha, you know, we, the public, don't know exactly, too. The Secret Service kept this one from killing President Trump. We don't know how many others they may have foiled that never made the public eye that they have taken down that may have involved external threat actors. This now appears to be a systemic attempt on the president that is broad and deep, and the security needs to match this real threat against him.
Notice how they're really trying to separate themselves from him. This charges is going to go to the federal government because he technically didn't fire. It's not an assassination attempt, and that's how they're going to look at it. He just had a gun. He was a weird guy in a weird place at a weird time.
President Donald Trump was on the course, walking between the 5th and 6th holes. At around 1:31 p.m., a Secret Service agent stationed ahead of the former president spotted a rifle poking out of the tree line. The agent fired in the direction of the rifle. Officials say Routh did not fire at the agent. The Journal located crime scene photos to roughly this spot on Summit Boulevard, which runs along the golf course's southern perimeter and is near the 6th hole. Photos provided by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office show that Routh had a semi-automatic rifle with a scope, a digital camera, and 2 bags near the area. Shortly after the Secret Service agent fired shots, a witness spotted Routh fleeing to a black Nissan SUV. Cell phone records show he left the area by around 1:31 p.m. The Martin County Sheriff told Fox News that police caught the car shortly after a be on the lookout alert went out.
Within a few minutes of that bolo, my crew was on top of that car and conducted the felony stop.
For the students in the back of the class, a bolo is a be on the lookout warning sent to your cell phones. The little ding, that little chime, that little charm that you get on your cell phone when a kid goes missing. These people would not have found this man if it wasn't for the help of the citizens on the ground who took a picture of the license plate that had a bumper sticker on it that read Biden Harris.
At 2:14, nearly 45 minutes after he fled, police stopped Routh here on Interstate 95.
We got 30 vehicles blocking the highways, more than that.
Routh was charged Monday with possessing a firearm despite being a felon and having a firearm with a wiped out serial number.
Now, you and I both know that carrying around a concealed handgun with a swiped out serial number is a minimum of 15 years in prison. And number two, you know, the Secret Service did not solve this. The police did not solve this. It was a citizen, somebody that saw him coming out the wood. They deserve all the credit. They deserve the credit for finding this man, snapping his shot, and then them people catching him with him in 30 minutes. I don't understand how he was able to sit outside for that long. When the president goes to golf, let's say it was this president, if he was to go golf, they would sweep that entire area and block off the whole block for miles before he stepped foot on that course. The whole area is swept. They have dogs, they have drones, they have helicopters over, all of that stuff.
1:30 this afternoon, call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. In the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro. The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at.
Oh, but wait, there is more. Let's check on his son. Oh, I forgot to hit play.
The son of the man suspected of an apparent assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump has reportedly been arrested for allegedly possessing images of child sexual abuse. According to a complaint filed in North Carolina federal court, Orrin Routh is charged with receiving and possessing child pornography. It states that FBI agents searched Routh's home in a case unrelated to child exploitation. Agents seized several of his devices and say they obtained warrants to search them. The complaint alleges Routh was in possession of hundreds of images of children.
Hundreds? Really? Hundreds?
Being sexually abused. No attorney was listed for him in the federal court database. Orrin Routh's father is reportedly Ryan Routh, who is still behind bars as he faces weapons charges connected to what authorities believe was an apparent attempt to assassinate Donald Trump at his Florida golf course.
Also, the little shitbag left a note, apparently apologizing for failing at the attempt and offering anyone who could complete the job $250,000. Where did he get that from? Now you can say by default that the government is in possession of some large caches of child pornography. And they're willing to leverage that in order to get answers from people they believe have answers. Or they could use it as a distraction. I don't know. I got a lot more work to do. Go ahead and hit a like for the algorithm and I guess join the group. I don't know. I don't care.